Welcome to my Q&A series here on YouTube. Over the last decade, I've answered a lot of questions about fasting, breaking fast, timing of food, detox, exercise, you name it. I feel like I've been asked almost every question on the planet. And I know you all are searching for very specific answers, especially if you're in the middle of a fast or you're about to do a fast or you're trying to get your health back on track. You come to my channel looking for those answers. So I want to make it easier for you. I want to help empower you. So what I've done is I've taken the questions and my answer and I have synthesized it for you here in this series so that you can get exactly what you are looking for and help you build your own fasting lifestyle. But most importantly, I hope you understand that what I am teaching here on YouTube is how for you to personalize your health journey. You were born to be so powerful. Your body is a miracle, and I just want to help you discover that. So, enjoy. What's the proper amount of water for your body to have? And I can't sit here after all these years of researching this to tell you it's 6 to 8 glasses a day. That's bullshit. There's nothing out there research-wise. If you all find it, send it to me. But what I can tell you is if you get thirsty, you are in a danger spot. And the research says that once you get thirsty, you have lost 2% of your body weight in water. The name of the water game is to never get thirsty. So some of you are going to notice as you get closer to the third day, you don't want to drink anything. Like in the beginning, you're kind of holding on to your jug and you're like, you don't want to leave your water jug. Anybody have that? I did that the first time I was doing 3-day water fast and going into my office. I had all my drinks ready to go. And by the third day, you're like, oh, where's that bottle of water I brought in? So you will start to notice that by the third day you may be less thirsty, but still make sure that you're drinking, I would say, again, I do think 6 glasses of water a day would be really good. Can you drink too much water? We don't have, you can drink too much water. You can drink too much. So if you're concerned that you're drinking too much, you're probably drinking too much. If your intuition is asking you a question of, hey, am I drinking too much? You're probably already there. So moderation. I don't have an end to tell you there. You're drinking too much. Just be sensible. I like the thirst because then we let the body tell us what it needs. Bloated. I know some people talked about bloating. Sometimes you can feel really bloated when you're drinking too much water. So that might be an indication. Or a heaviness in your stomach might be an indication. But you would have to drink a lot of water. I want you to know that. So you would have to drink a lot of water for it to be dangerous. But this is a game this week of keeping everybody safe. So I want to make sure that I kind of bookended, not too little, not too much. Let's keep our water in moderation. Hello, can I drink as much electrolytes as I want when fasting? Greetings from Germany. Okay, so electrolytes. Can you do as much as you want? So the first thing is when you're in a fast, if you're doing some minerals in water and hopefully you're enjoying the flavored ones, you're not going to over time harm yourself with that many minerals in let me say in a 3-day water fast. But I still feel, let's say you're doing long, 24-hour fasts or 16 or consistent 17-hour fasts every week. I'm still going to tell you that they're great, and then every 90 days you need to get off of them for a moment and then go back in. Now, the only mineral or electrolyte, which minerals and electrolytes are very similar. We have different names for them, kind of like yam and sweet potato. It's like we sort of lump them all into the same category. And one of the things that I know is that when you make an electrolyte in a lab, that is a synthetic version. So I don't know what type of electrolyte you're having. Whereas when you pull an electrolyte from the ground or a mineral from the ground, it's going to be more biologically available. So I've personally been geeking out on the ocean recently because I live in Santa Cruz, California, and I've been surfing, and I've noticed since getting in the ocean that has the same mineral balance as the human body that I don't need to take as many minerals. These are the variables that I can't answer you because I don't know your full health history. But I like that I'm getting minerals from the ocean. That feels really good. So the only electrolyte mineral drink that I know that's out there that comes from the earth is from Beam Minerals. I could safely tell you, I don't know if Beam Minerals gets to Germany, but I can safely tell you that if you could drink as many Beam Minerals as you want. Because when something comes from the earth, it comes in the right balance. So when we end up taking a nutrient from the ground and it has the right balance for us, it's hard to OD that. It's kind of like if I gave you, a bag of apples or 3 bags of apples. Would you wonder if you ate 3 bags if that would be harmful? I think most people would be like, well, I couldn't eat 3 bags, but I would never think of it as harmful. It's when we try to synthetically make these products in a lab that now we don't know. We don't know. So I don't really know the minerals, the electrolytes you're on, but if you're using them in the longer fast, you're using them in 24-hour fast, I don't see there being a problem. And you might go and check with your doctor and make sure you're testing your electrolytes. I know I get blood work very frequently to see, and it on my blood panel is all the electrolytes and minerals that I need, and I look to see, like, I started taking vitamin D, and then all of a sudden my vitamin D was through the roof, and so I got off vitamin D. So if you have the ability to test a lot of this through blood work, that would probably answer your question more appropriately. Okay, hope that helped. Lori Bowen said, I'm here now, and I put MCT oil in my coffee, and I know you use it in other ways, but can I use olive oil on my food as well? Yeah, we love both of those oils. So let's talk about the healing benefit of both of them. MCT oil in your coffee helps you get into ketosis quicker. I wrote about this in Age Like a Girl too. So it helps you get over into ketosis quicker, which is yay, we like that. So that's the benefit for MCT oil. Olive oil, a high-powered olive oil, organic extra virgin olive oil, is one of the most powerful polyphenol foods on the planet. And I drizzle olive oil on everything because when those polyphenols go into my gut, what it does is it feeds my microbes. And those microbes are making melatonin. They are breaking down estrogen. Those microbes are making serotonin. They're pulling nutrients out of my food. So I think of it like a little zoo I have down there. I want to keep those animals alive. So one of the ways I do that is buy olive oil every single day on almost every single meal because that's what they like to eat. So the answer is yes. Keep doing that. What brand of coffee do you drink? Well, there's a couple things I can tell you about coffee. I like to look for local people. I like local everything. So I go to farmers markets and I found a really great brand of coffee there. And one of the things that I do when I'm searching for coffee is I ask if it's organic because the beans can be sprayed, and that's a problem. So I don't want pesticides on my beans. I want it to be organic. And then I ask if it's moldy, because some beans are grown in the shade. A lot of them are grown in the shade, and then they're stored in the shade, and there's a lot of mold in that. So I always ask if they're tested for mold. So I want local, without chemicals, and to test for mold. Now, having said that, there are a lot of really interesting brands. Now, you can go to our resource page on my website. Just go to Dr. Mindy Pelz, and you can see some of our favorites. So Camino Coffee is the one I can guarantee meets all of those requirements. and will ship to you. I had another local vendor that I loved, but they were little, so they couldn't keep up with the demand that our audience was asking for. So I would try Camino coffee and see what you think. Life Boost is another one that I know a lot of people have told me, my friends who are in the wellness world say that Life Boost is great. I just don't have a personal experience with it. Next question. How do you take medication with a long fast? And this is the same thing for supplements. So if you're on a medication that requires you eat food, then what you might try to do is wrap that medication up or eat some protein or eat some fat. So sometimes what we would do is we would have a patient take like a scoop of ghee or nut butter or both, because it's so rich in fat. And they would eat that and then take their medication. So the reason for that is fat won't spike your blood sugar and it will not pull you out of a fasted state. The other thing you could do is you could wrap it in a piece of protein. Protein isn't necessarily going to pull you out, so it could be a little bit easier, but fat is the cleanest. So nut butter, just a scoop of nut butter, maybe a little bit of ghee, so it's a little extra fat. Or you could try you could also try a cup of bone broth, but you already heard what I said about let's keep the protein under 20 grams. If you do the little piece of protein, you want it under 20 grams so you don't miss out on the autophagy. Now supplements aren't life or death, and some medications are. So when you go into a prolonged fast, I actually encourage you to take a break from the supplements. Because, I mean, with the exception of things like minerals are great just to keep you feeling good. But really what you're doing in a longer fast is you are telling your body that, hey, I'm going to take food out of the equation and I'm going to let you heal. So when we put supplements in, now you mix it up for the intelligence in the body. Let the intelligence do its job. Okay, can you help me understand why I was constipated during the entire fast? Yeah, so constipation is the inner lining gut is getting rid of all the junk on there. And not to get too gross, but let's talk about this. I can tell you in my clinic, I x-rayed so many people, and you could see on the inside of their gut lining, you could see undigested food. It looked like speckles on the inside of their gut lining. And so a lot of people, they when I would see that, I'd be like, how's your digestion? And they're like, I'm constipated. So it gets caked on in the inside of that mucosal lining. So a really good trick are enzymes. And you might, because the enzymes will go in there and break it down, but then you want to know, well, what is that on the side gut of the gut lining? So my favorite enzyme is called Masszyme. It's also put out by Biooptimizers, and it's a general enzyme that can be really good. Otherwise, I like Z-Glute by Systemic Formulas that actually will start to break down gluten on the side. So you might, and you want to do your enzymes on an empty stomach, and it'll start to break that down. The other thing I would recommend if you're still constipated is a product called Bind, B-I-N-D, by Systemic Formulas. Again, you can find these on Amazon, and they have magnesium mixed with their activated charcoal. And magnesium will relax the intestinal lining and then allow the activated charcoal will attach to the toxins and get it out of your body. So when this would happen, I would have people do three times a day the activated charcoal, the Bind, and then in between, like wait a couple of hours and then do a Masszyme, and you could do Z-Glute if you want, do the enzymes, but you want those to be done at least a couple hours away from each other. If you like this video, you're definitely gonna want to check out the next one.